You know, I wonder if the studio ever actually learned from Mortal Kombat Annihilation, because that was the last movie that came out in theaters before the 2021 film. And in that movie, Johnny Cage is killed off within 5 minutes by Shao Kahn. Then the 2021 reboot, he's just not in it at all. And then here comes this movie, which just completely shits on his character. Anyways, today I'm going to be reviewing Mortal Kombat Legends Battle of the Realms. So this movie is basically a reboot of Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and it does a wondrous job at doing that. The plot adapts Mortal Kombat 2, with elements of 3 and 4, and so on, sprinkled in. This time we're following two different plots. The invasion of Shao Kahn, Scorpion trying to prevent Shinnok from conquering the world. Kuai Liang is here to avenge his brother, who was killed by Scorpion in the last movie. Now, I will say that I quite enjoyed the stuff with Scorpion and Sub-Zero in this movie, but this movie is trying to do way too much, all in one film. Fan service isn't necessarily a bad thing, but there's gotta be more to your movie than that. As a result of this, the movie seems to be extremely rushed. If it were up to me, adapt to 1, 2, 3, so on, but these companies always have to shoehorn everything in. Many characters are either wasted or butchered. Jade, only a few scenes, immediately killed by Liu Kang. Kentaro, it's his first appearance in a Mortal Kombat movie and he's barely in it. And he is arguably even tougher than Goro was in the first game, when you fight him in 2, yet here he's portrayed like a joke. Li Mei, Rico, why are they even here? You could have included Melina instead and there would have been no difference. Characters from the first film are also a huge downgrade. Johnny Cage, while he was obnoxious in the first movie, they've completely amped him up to 11. Honestly, it was an utter disappointment how he lost the first match he even fought in. First he dies in Annihilation, then they just outright don't have him in the 2021 reboot, and now here comes this movie where he's portrayed like complete ass! Albeit, if it weren't for those factors, I probably would have laughed when Devora punched him in his balls. And throughout the entire movie, Sonya has this running gag where she says, "Johnny's not my boyfriend," and it gets old after a while. I did think it was a little funny though when Johnny tried to touch Sonya's hand as she's trying to go into a bedroom. Call back to Scorpion's revenge. He quickly goes, right, no touching without permission. I had a laugh out of that, but to be honest, Johnny and Sonya's relationship is portrayed quite horribly. There's hardly any structure to it. All we ever see is Johnny flirting with her and Sonya being completely turned off by it the entire time. Then all of a sudden, she just changes her mind. To be fair, I also had a similar criticism with a live-action movie from 1995. Sonya acts like she can't stand the guy through the entire movie, even when she's saved, and at the end of the movie, they're all together and stuff. There's no scene where it's addressed at all. Then, for absolutely no reason in the next movie, she's absolutely devastated when Khan murders him, and it's an entire motivation behind her character. Just, what now? I also like to think that Annihilation is a separate timeline from the first movie, given all the major differences from the first film. Raiden, well, in Scorpion's Revenge, he's just Raiden, nothing more. But here, they decided to rip off Mortal Kombat Annihilation and make him a mortal combatant who can die. In fact, he's killed by Shao Kahn, and his power is transferred into Liu Kang after he inevitably wins the tournament. Then he becomes Fire God Liu Kang.
It's a bit early to be thinking about that, isn't it?
Fire God Liu Kang. They completely threw away what could have been a really good build-up. Over the course of movies, we could see Liu Kang become a better, stronger fighter, and eventually become the Fire God. But no, they completely wasted it in the second movie. So never mind. Stryker, after an entire decade of not being in any of the games, is in this movie with the same voice actor from Mortal Kombat 9. And of course, he's killed by Shang Tsung. Kung Lao, killed by Shao Kahn, like in MK9. Shang Tsung, why is he so old? Isn't this set during Mortal Kombat 2? In the climax, Shinnok eventually acquires the Kamidogu and becomes corrupted Shinnok. It's about what you'd come to expect. Liu Kang turns kaiju size and crushes him. The end. Now anyway, was there anything I liked about this movie? Well, one thing I did like was the stuff with the Cyberlin Quay and the stuff with Scorpion and Sub-Zero. To me, that was pretty entertaining. In all honesty, that could have been a movie itself, minus all the other stuff crammed in. I do kinda wish we got to see more of Human Smoke, but I'd just be beating a dead horse if I said the movie is extremely rushed. Another thing I liked was Shao Kahn. I thought he was fine. The voice actor is great. He also voices the Hulk in lots of things, including the Hulk Ultimate Destruction for PS2 and GameCube and so on. My biggest gripe with him was, where's his Warhammer? Oh, this version doesn't have one. There's a moment when he makes one in his hand with his green magic, kinda like how he does in Mortal Kombat 3, but that's kind of a nitpick, I guess. Interesting to note, the voice actor who voiced Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat 11 voices Jax in this movie. I just found that interesting. Now, final thesis, this movie is okay at most. Characters are rushed. Wait, no. Everything is rushed. Johnny Cage is a complete joke. Why is he always either fucked or not in the movie at all? We haven't had a great adaptation of the character since the 1995 film, not counting Legacy or Rebirth. I haven't seen those, but I can already tell you now that I'm not a fan of the realistic trend from 2012, 2014, somewhere around there. Some things just aren't realistic, they don't need to be, that's a simple truth. This movie could have been way better. There were certain things I liked, it's not the worst movie ever, but I like to think of this movie as a not as shitty version of Mortal Kombat Annihilation. The movie at least looks better. The characters look more like what they're trying to represent, but they still fucked up Johnny Cage all these years later. Maybe there's a bit of redeemability in our next movie though. Wait, we still have another movie before that one. Tune in next time, when we'll have a look at Mortal Kombat Legends Snowblind, featuring Kenshi. Until next time, motherfucker.